Hello, everyone. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. It would really help the channel out quite a bit. Thank you very much.
Poor Joan ain't got nobody. She's nobody's sweetheart now. Featuring the romantic singing of Andy Russell. With a great comedy cast including Verna Felton, Shirley Mitchell, the music of Paul Weston and his orchestra, and yours sincerely, Harry Bonzell. And here's the star of our show, America's Queen of Comedy, Joan Davis. Oh, no, Joan, let me... Oh, there she goes. No, stop it, Joan. Listen. Stop throwing donuts at the piccolo. This is no time to play twice. Now, quit it. Oh, Joan, listen, come over here now, will you? I want to talk to you.
What do you want, Harry?
Well, listen, I understand you bought a horse and entered him at Santa Anita last Saturday.
Yeah, what a race that was, Harry. They lined up at the start, and off went my horse like a flash. First into quarters, first into half, first in the stretch, and finished 20 lengths in front of all the other horses.
Oh, boy, that was wonderful.
No, it wasn't, Harry. The horse was disqualified.
Disqualified? Why?
You don't count if you shoot him out of a cannon.
Oh!
Swanville, USA, January 21st. Today, with the weekly magazines hitting the stands, the citizens of Swanville satisfy their literary tastes. Some readers are news conscious, some readers are fashion conscious, some readers are sports conscious. But nowhere in Swanville will you find a reader more unconscious than in...
Joanie's Tea Room. Joan Davis speaking. Oh, hello, Mrs. McCullough. Yeah, I got my copy of True Heartthrob magazine, too. Did you read the story entitled Love in the Underworld or My Wife is a Sandhog? You didn't? Oh, gee, it's sad. You see, this girl Sandhog is 6'5" and her husband is 3'2". And they've been married for 2 years, but they finally separate. Why? Well, every time she lifts him up to kiss him, he gets her nosebleed. Yeah, and every time she leans down to kiss him, she gets the bends.
Hey, Joni, listen, why don't you pay attention to the tea room and stop reading that trashy magazine?
Trashy? Why, True Heartthrob has some wonderful love stories in it, and they're all true, too. For instance, look at this one on page 23. Love conquers all. Or, I married my butcher.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah, well, listen to this, Harry.
Well...
A green-eyed Genevieve reclined lazily on her chaise loungy. Daintily, she sunk her gleaming white tooth into a bonbon. She smiled triumphantly. It was a cherry. And suddenly there was an impatient knock on the door of her boudoir.
Her boudoir?
Sure, Harry, that's French for boudoir. You don't know anything, do you? Say, Andy, where are you going?
Well, Miss Davis, if it's okay with you, I thought I'd leave a little early this evening.
Oh, gee, Andy, can't you stay a little while? Pretty soon there won't be anybody here but us two.
Gosh, I'm sorry, Miss Davis, but you see, our college basketball team is practicing tonight. I'm forward on the team.
Well, you may be forward on a team, but you're backward in the tea room.
Never mind. Hey, can I go with you, Andy?
Oh, sure, Harry.
Oh, Harry, you're not going to get out of here as easily as you think. Here comes your girlfriend, Rosella Hipperton.
Hello, Mrs. Hipperton.
Hello, Mr. Russell and Miss Davis. And Mr. Bonzell. Hello.
Oh, sure. Look, hello, Rosella. I'm awfully glad to see you.
Oh, Harry, I'm so glad to see you.
Ain't you glad to see me, Hippie?
Really, Miss Davis, your presence here is nothing but an unnecessary intrusion. Oh, Harry, I've been taking those long walks as you suggested. Don't you think I look pretty fit?
Why, yes, Rosella, I do. Joan, don't you think Mrs. Hipperton looks fit?
Yeah, fit. F-A-T, fit.
Oh! Now, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Really, Rosella, I do think that you look positively radiant tonight. And that's really wonderful. Really, it is.
Oh, I'm glad.
You know, I've always maintained that the way to put color in your cheeks is to walk gustily, breathe properly.
Exercise vigorously.
No, wash swannily.
Oh, no, Lily.
Oh, yes, Lily. Sure, use Swan regularly. Because Swan is the new white floating soap that's 4 swell soaps in one, you know. Swan's pure as fine castile, so it's great for bathing the baby and for your hands and face. And Swan gives... Did I tell you this before? No, I didn't.
Oh, no.
And Swan gives such wonderful suds, it's great for dishes and light laundry, too. Great for baby, for you, for dishes and light laundry. What a soap that is.
Well, I hate to change the subject, Mr. Bonzel, but I came over here to ask you to go with me to the Swanville Motor Company and see the new 1946 model.
Oh, model?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're looking for a model soap in 1946, use Swan.
Please, Mr. Bonzel.
Oh.
There is one car in particular I'd like you to see. It has leather upholstery, chromium fittings, and 4-wheel brakes.
4-wheel brakes? Oh, 4-wheel brakes, a cake of Swan and 2. I get. And if you're good at math, that leaves half a cake for the kitchen and the other half for the bath. I do mean Swan.
Mr. Bonzel.
Those lovely suds.
Harry.
Won't you join me, Rosella?
Certainly.
Oh, fine.
Oh, what a
Well, you have just heard those sweet Swanee serenaders, Sopo and Hippo.
Say, Harry, I don't want to rush you, but if you're going to basketball practice with me, we'd better get started.
Well, I'm all set, Andy.
Basketball practice. Harry, aren't you going with me tonight?
Not tonight, Rosella. Tonight I'm going out with the boys. Come on, Andy.
Oh, how humiliating. I never thought that Mr. Bonzel would give me up for basketball practice. To think that he'd rather watch a few men throwing a silly ball around, catching it, bouncing it, passing it, catching it, bouncing it, passing it, catching it.
That's the end of the half, Hippie. You can stop dribbling now.
Miss Davis, stop this foolishness. I happen to be fully aware of the fact that you are completely responsible for Harry's indifference to me.
Me?
Yes.
Well, I'm not the slightest bit interested in Harry Bonzel.
You're not?
No, but if Andy Russell said yes to me, I'd be the happiest woman in the world. Even if he only said yes. All he'd have to say is yes. You see, I'm not hard to please. It's Barbara Weatherby who's in our way.
Barbara Weatherby.
Sure. Let me explain. Now, even though Harry may care for me, I don't care for Harry 1/2 as much as I care for Andy. But Harry doesn't care 1/2 as much for you as he cares for me. And Andy doesn't care 1/2 as much for me as he cares for Barbara Weatherby, who cares for him but doesn't care for me. Now, if we could get Barbara Weatherby out of the way, then I could have a clear field with Andy, and you could marry Harry, and I could marry Barbara Weatherby, leaving a clear field for Andy and Harry to get married. You understand?
Perfectly.
Then I wish you'd explain it to me.
Oh, Miss Davis, you've made it all too clear. If Barbara Weatherby were out of our way, you and I would each have a clear field to marry the man we love.
Yeah, if there were only some way to get rid of her. Wait a minute. There is a way.
What?
True Heartthrob magazine.
True Heartthrob magazine? What are you talking about?
Oh, there's a wonderful story on page 84. Here it is. It's entitled, I Got Rid of My Rival by Mail. Or Cupid the Correspondent. Or Make Big Money Growing Mushrooms in Your Cellar.
What?
Oh, that last one was an ad. Yeah.
Miss Davis, I don't see how this magazine story will help us get rid of Barbara Weatherby.
Well, it's simple, Hippie. In this story, 2 girls are in love with the same fella. So the first girl gets a friend of hers to write a letter to the fella, making believe it's from his wife and kids.
Wife and kids? But Andy Russell has no wife and kids.
Of course not, but if we make Barbara Weatherby think he has...
What a wonderful idea. When do I start writing this letter to Andy Russell?
Right now. Oh, wait a minute, Hippie. Look who's crossing the street.
Oh, my. It's Harry and Andy.
Yeah, you better write the letter at home. Quick, go out the back way through the kitchen. Take my brother-in-law, Serenus, with you, and the minute you're finished with the letter, have him deliver it here.
Oh, this is so exciting. I'm Cupid the correspondent.
Well, hi, Andy. What happened to basketball practice?
Oh, it was called off. The coach was sick.
Yeah, Joe, now we can all go to the movies.
Who can all go to the movies?
Well, I thought you'd go with me because Barbara Weatherby is coming by to pick Andy up.
Barbara Weatherby? Andy, why do you keep going with her? She's treacherous.
Treacherous?
Yeah, one false move on your part and she'd drop you like a hot potato. Mark my words, Andy, she's only after you for your money.
But, Miss Davis, I don't have any money.
That's what you think. Barbara Weatherby inherits $2 million when she marries, and in Swanville there's a community property law which makes half your wife's property yours. So if you married Barbara, how much money would you have?
I'd have $1 million.
What did I tell you? She's marrying you for your money. Yeah, but on the other hand, take me, Andy. Well, I love you for what you are. The way you walk, the way you talk, but especially the way you sing.
Joan, I sing.
Oh, Andy, when those golden notes come out of your throat, I just swoon.
Oh, gosh, Miss Davis.
Joan, I sing.
Oh, Andy, there's no other voice like yours.
Gee, thanks.
Joan, I sing.
Well, Harry, as long as you got the icing, go bake a cake, will you? You sing, Andy.
Love me as only you can love me. There's no one who can love me the way that you do. Your kiss is as gentle as the falling summer rain. Your sigh is the sentimental theme of our refrain. I want you to thrill me as only you can thrill me. There's no one who can thrill me. What am I to do? I'm helpless, so I'm content to be the fool that you make of me. So love me the way that I love you.
Oh, gee, Andy, that was swell. You know, if I was your wife, I'd sit and listen to you sing all day.
Would you really?
Sure, Andy. Haven't you ever really thought of getting married?
Of course. What man hasn't thought of marrying Miss Davis?
What man has thought of marrying Miss Davis?
Now, Joan, that is not true. After all, you know how I feel about you.
How's that, Harry?
Well, I'm a man and you're a woman.
Oh, Harry, you saw my new license plate. Anyway, Joni's tea room. Joan Davis speaking.
Hello, Miss Davis. This is Rosanna Hipperton. I've finished the letter to Andy Russell, and your brother-in-law, Serenus, is on his way over with it.
Oh, boy, and that certain party we were talking about will be here, too.
You mean Barbara Weatherby?
Yeah.
Oh, our plan is working out perfectly, isn't it?
It sure is. See you later.
Hey, Joan, who was that?
Oh, well, it was the man at the meat market. He's a good friend of mine.
Oh, has he got some meat for you?
No, he invited me over to smell the hook.
Oh, Miss Davis, look who's here. It's your brother-in-law, Serenus.
Oh, good. Hello, Serena.
Hello, Johnny. Glad to see me.
Well, I certainly am, Serenus. Well?
I'm well. How are you?
Serenus, didn't you come over here for something special?
Yeah, I came over here to deliver something. You want to know what?
Yeah.
Well, ask me. Go ahead.
All right. What did you come in here to deliver?
I forget.
You forget? Well, you better start remembering.
Let's see now. Oh, yeah. It's something that starts with a D.
A D. Is it a dish?
No.
A door key?
No.
A duster?
Oh, I know. It's a letter.
A letter begins with D?
Sure, dear sir.
Andy.
Oh, it's Barbara Weatherby. Hello, Barbara.
Barbara Weatherby. Serenas, where is that letter?
I don't know.
Well, you better find it quick.
Well, Andy, I'm all ready to go to the movies. And on the way, I have something important to tell you that concerns us.
Well, tell us, Babs.
Miss Davis, it doesn't concern you. It concerns Andy and me.
Anything that concerns Andy concerns me. I got a growing interest in that concern. Any questions?
Very well, you asked for it. Andy, Kate and I had a long talk about my future. He has finally given me his consent to marry shortly.
Marry shortly? Shortly who?
Miss Davis.
Must be somebody new in town.
Oh, fiddlesticks.
Oh, shortly fiddlestick. When did he get out of the army?
Well, Miss Weatherby, let me in on this. Just who are you going to marry?
Oh, Mr. Von Zell, the person I'm talking about is obvious.
Obvious? What happened to Shortly? How do you like that? Shortly just got out of the army and she throws him over for obvious. Oh, poor Shortly.
Miss Davis, come on, Andy, let's get out of here and go to the movies.
Just a minute. Serena, haven't you found the letter yet?
Oh, sure, a long time ago.
Well, then what are you waiting for? Give it to me.
It ain't for you. It's for Andy Russell. Here, Andy.
Well, thanks, Serenas. Now, if you're ready, Miss Davis, I think we ought to...
Aren't you going to open the letter, Andy?
Not now, Miss Davis. I'll read it later. Come on, Barbara. Now we'll...
Well, why don't you open it now, Andy? Maybe it's important.
Oh, I don't think so.
Maybe they struck oil.
Who struck oil?
Well, how are you going to find out unless you open the letter?
Andy, it's apparent that Miss Davis won't let us go to the movies until you open that silly letter.
Oh, all right. I'll open it. See, Miss Davis? It's just an ordinary letter from... Ooh.
Hey, Andy, what's the matter with you? You look pale.
It's this letter, Harry. I don't understand it.
Well, let me see it. Ooh.
Let me see it.
Ooh.
What is this all about?
Read her the letter, Andy.
Miss Davis,
Read me the letter, Andy.
Oh, all right. Dearest Andy, it's been 3 months since I last heard from you, my darling husband. We all miss you, especially the 3 children.
3 children?
When are you coming back to Peoria?
Peoria?
Oh! It's signed Gwendolyn.
Well, Andy, you never told me about Gwendolyn.
But Harry,
Andy Russell, this is horrible.
But Barbara,
To think that you would do this to me. How could you go out with me here in Swanville and at the same time have a wife and 3 children in Peoria? How could you?
Maybe he's got a helicopter.
Now, Barbara, you've got to listen to me a moment.
Mr. Russell, I don't want to talk to you ever again. What's more, I'm going to leave this tea room right now and you'll never see me again. Never, never.
Gee, I wonder where she's gone.
Not Peoria. That's too crowded already. Oh, but don't worry, Andy. Let Barbara Weatherby run away. Your real friends will stick by you despite everything.
But, Miss Davis, this letter is a fraud, a phony. I've never heard of Gwendolyn. I've never heard of 3 children. I've never heard
now,
of...
calm yourself, Andy. You're all upset. What you need is a good hot cup of tea. Wait here. I'll go in the kitchen and brew it. There's good brews tonight.
Harry, you certainly don't believe this, do you?
What'd you say, Andy?
I says you certainly don't believe this, do you?
Andy Russell, you little devil, you.
Oh, Harry, will you stop it? I haven't got a wife or children anywhere.
Yeah, but the letter.
The letter. Hey, look, there isn't even a postmark on it.
What?
Somebody's playing a trick on me.
Well, who? Uh-oh. Andy, look at the title of this story Joan's been reading in True Heartthrob magazine.
Yeah.
I got rid of my rival by mail, or Cupid the correspondent, or make big money growing mushrooms in your cellar.
What?
Oh, the last one was an ad.
Oh.
Don't you see it, Andy? Joan got the idea of writing this phony letter to you from this story.
Now I see. I should have figured that she was behind this.
Well, certainly, me too. Hey, Andy, I've got an idea how you can get even.
How?
Well, this trick can work 2 ways. Know what I mean?
I get it.
Oh, Andy, stop crying. Here's your tea, dear. Now, this'll make you feel better.
Oh, never mind the tea, Miss Davis. May I borrow your suitcase?
My suitcase? What for?
Well, Joan, I've been talking things over with Andy.
Yeah, and Harry convinced me that the right thing for me to do is to go back to Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn?
Yes, and my 3 kids.
3 kids?
Yes, Frankie, Perry, and Bing.
Oh, Andy, that's silly. I'll bet there is no Gwendolyn or 3 kids.
Yeah, no, you're right about that, Joan. Andy confessed the real truth to me. There is no Gwendolyn, but there is a Cynthia.
Cynthia?
Yes, and there aren't 3 kids. There are 9.
9?
Yes, and it isn't Peoria. It's Schenectady.
9? Oh, Andy, how could you work in my tea room here in Swanville and have a wife and 9 children in Schenectady? How could you?
Oh, I've got a helicopter.
Hey, look, Andy, before you leave, I've got a little present I want you to take back for those 9 little Russell Sprouts.
What is it, a set of blocks?
No. No, it's a cake of swan.
Oh, how touching.
No, how cleansing. Those kiddies will love Swan, the new white floating soap that's pure as fine Castiles. Why, Swan's so mild the doctors recommend it for a baby's tender skin. And if it's good for baby, it's good for your hands and face, your tub or shower. Yes, sir, Andy, your 9 kids will love Swan. And you want to know what else I'm going to give you?
Certainly.
Well, ask me. Go ahead, ask me.
Well, I'm asking you, but what else are you going to give me?
Another cake of Swan? No, another cake of Swan for your wife, Cynthia. She loves Swan, too, you know, because Swan is so gentle and yet so hardworking. Just let Cynthia watch the way Swan goes into a lather cleaning up a stack of dishes. She'll really get suds that stand up and do a job. And listen, tell Cynthia to be sure and use Swan on the 9 kiddies. What a soap. And what a dramatic reunion. What a time.
Say, Harry, hold it.
Yeah?
Here comes Barbara Weatherby and her father.
Oh.
There he is, Peter. Tell him.
Oh, there you are, Russell, you cad.
But, Mr. Weatherby,
I'll teach you to trifle with my daughter's affections. A wife and 3 children in Peoria, huh?
Oh, that's not true, Mr. Weatherby.
No, it's 9. And 9, I tell you. It's 9.
Oh, Miss Davis, that's not true either. I was just getting even with you for sending that letter about Gwendolyn and Peoria.
So, Miss Davis, you were back of all this.
Well, I can't help it. I like Andy as much as you do, and all's fair in love and war, you know.
That may be so, but I see...
My, this place is crowded. Well, Miss Davis, how is everything going?
Well, not the way we expected, Mrs. Hipperton.
We expect this.
Oh, Mrs. Hipperton, you were in on this, too. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Ashamed? I should say not. I'm proud. I did it to get Harry Von Zell's love. To make him care for me, I'd move heaven and earth.
And she's the one that can do it, too.
Joni will be back in just a moment. Meanwhile, here's a quick tip. It's about a free offer. A free cake of Swan soap for every baby born this year. Yes, sir, that famous Swan offer is being made once again for 1946. We want all the 1946 babies to be Swan babies right from the beginning. That means they'll be lucky babies, too, because they'll be getting their baths with Swan, the new white floating soap that's just what the doctor ordered. Swan, the soap that's pure as fine Castile. So get those 1946 babies off to a wonderful start. You can learn the details from your grocer. Remember, Swan is baby's own white floating soap. And now here's Joni
Before
again.
we go, Miss Davis, the Swanville Ladies Literary Society is having a very special guest of honor next week, and we'd like to welcome him by holding our meeting in your tea room.
Oh, fine, Hippie. Say, when are you going to make me a member of that society?
Really, Miss Davis, you don't spend enough time with books.
Well, how can you say that, Hippie? I practically live in the public library.
You do?
Yeah, I was evicted from my apartment.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, I sleep between Helen of Troy and Bertha the sewing machine girl.
Oh, nay.
Oh, yay. I used to sleep on the shelf with Lassie, but I had to get out.
Why?
Lassie came home. Good night, folks.
The Joan Davis Show, presented by Swan Soap, is produced and directed by Dick Mack and is written by Jay Summers, Jack Harvey, and Cy Wills. And remember, too, friends, used fats from your kitchen are still urgently needed to help make all sorts of things from soap to nylons. So take every drop to your meat dealer this week. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.